The first step that leads towards huge success and happiness is knowing yourself. Until and unless we know ourselves, who we are, until and unless I know myself, who am I, is very difficult to achieve success. Because where I am, who am I, accordingly, your goals can be achieved and your path, your committed path, that can be aligned according to goals and also what you are, where you are, who you are. Therefore, let us understand what do we mean by know yourself and why it is important to know yourself. The very first thing for knowing yourself is to know your strength and weakness. Strength and weaknesses. Why it is important? You look at this picture. Your strengths are there. If you identify your strengths, if you know your strengths, if you know your abilities, if you know your capabilities, you can use those capabilities, you can utilize that strength in order to achieve your goal, in order to align yourself towards the goals that you have set in. You can align your strengths towards the big dream with which you have started your journey. And therefore, you need to know what are your strengths. At the same time, we also need to know about our weaknesses. And boldly, we need to admit that these are my weaknesses. So you can see that weaknesses are going down in this picture. It means you have to continuously work for overcoming the weaknesses, knocking down the challenges, and just eliminating those weaknesses in you. And this is not very difficult. There are two steps. One, identify your weaknesses. Second, keep on working to overcome those weaknesses with positive attitude. It's very simple and you can achieve that. So utilize your strength, overcome your weaknesses. How do you know that? How will you do that? Once you know about yourself. And of course, then talking about different types of goals, which we can achieve in very smaller amount of time, mid-terms goal, long-term goals, all these goals then can easily be achieved when you know yourself. When you know that this is my mid-term goal, what is the requirement to achieve this mid-term goal, what kind of abilities, what kind of strength, what kind of competence is needed in order to achieve these mid-term goals, you can. So the first thing is knowing about yourself, knowing your strength and aligning to your goals. What is important? Another thing is be yourself. Don't portray, you know, yourself as others. Don't present yourself as others. And therefore, this is very, very important to be yourself, to be honest to yourself. Don't demonstrate or exhibit that you are honest to the world. First, be true, be honest with yourself, be admit your all mistakes and weaknesses boldly. So therefore, be honest, be true, be sincere to yourself and be yourself. Don't be others. This will give you the reflection so you can see yourself in the mirror, who you are, where do you stand, what are your strengths, and be true and be honest that these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses with which you can move ahead. Dream big, start small. Very important. You always have to have big dream, and big dream can have a number of goals at different levels. But always big dream. Your dream must be very, very big. But start small. Your every step, every smaller steps that you are putting in, every smaller effort you are putting in must be great. The enthusiasm, the positivity, the motivation, the self motivation, all must be extremely high even in your smaller steps. So if you have a big dream, there may be thousands of smaller steps, but each step has to be executed Each step you have to consider it very, very seriously. You have to take each step very seriously, and you have to perform each and every step as a great step. So great amount of sincerity, great amount of effort, great amount of enthusiasm and positive energy needs to be put in even in all small steps. Then definitely no one can stop you to make your big dream come true. So mistakes are proof that you are trying. If you are doing some mistakes, you are not able to align to your goals, it means you are committing some mistakes. You are doing some mistakes. As I told you, accept those mistakes, admit those mistakes boldly. And when you are doing mistakes, it means you are trying, you are working. Therefore, you are doing mistakes. So accept and admit those mistakes boldly. Keep on working, improving those mistakes, overcoming the weaknesses, improving, correcting the mistakes. Definitely, you will achieve your goal. So, what is needed? Why it is needed to know yourself? Number one, to know your strength and weakness, to know where you are, to know who you are, to know your strength and utilize your strength, to know about your weaknesses so that you can overcome those weaknesses. You can identify your mistakes so that you can correct those mistakes, and keep on working. Remember, in knowing about yourself, positive enthusiasm, positive energy, great amount of energy, and the every step in the success process has to be taken very seriously. I mean, then you can definitely achieve your goal. Thank you.